All right, guys, what's going on? It's EA Cralo. It's good to be back on stream with you guys. A little kind of, honestly, nerve-wracking. It's been a while since I've actually been on a live stream, and a lot of people were asking, is Jake alive? So I have Jake here, Jake Stein from the Madden team. We're going to go ahead and talk a little bit about Series 2 today. A lot of you guys have seen some teasers out there. Some of you guys seen some information out there, and we just kind of wanted to talk through that, talk about the logic, what's going on with that program and everything. We're really excited about this. At the end of the day, when we go ahead and do these programs, we want to make sure that level cap increase is like the key focus. So we have a level cap increase of going from 51 to 60, which is great. But then when you do a level cap increase, you're looking for rewards. Are you looking for solos to grind, sets to do? Are there new power-ups? We've heard that question a lot, and we've kind of taken that back to the dev team, and they've kind of looked at it and say, how can we add new power-ups to the program and whatnot? So today, we're going to be covering those MUT level unlocks. We'll be covering the solos, the sets, the power-ups, and I'll be giving a little bit of information to the community about just some of the stuff we're seeing from you guys on Reddit, on social forums, and just really more of a fireside chat between me as a community manager with you guys. So let's go ahead and talk about MUT level unlocks.
Yeah, so again, kind of going back to something that we pride ourselves in as a live team is taking that feedback and understanding that and seeing what is the best way for us to implement that in the game. And going back to last year, one of the big I guess critiques of MUT level was, it just kind of gave me opportunities to purchase other things, right? There aren't really rewards. So that's something that we already fulfilled when we launched the game, right? And we wanted to continue that trend here. So there's some really great unlocks just from reaching that level, right? So I mean, right away, you get up there in reach 51, there's an elite player pack and a Legends fantasy pack right there right away. So really awesome store pack content, fully auctionable stuff. Fantastic stuff. You're going to see that kind of, hit again later on as you continue leveling up, but that's really great. And then the other thing too, right, is we've heard, where can I get more training? I want to get more training. So we have some unlocks in here as well where you're going to get big chunks. I think it's 800 points of training just for reaching that particular MUT level. So again, really exciting stuff. And then, for the players that are coming in and saying well, this is great. I'm sure that's going to be a grind. What can I do now? What does Series 2 bring for me right now? And as long as you're level 40 or higher, you have now automatically got access to the Veteran Gauntlet, which is fantastic, right? It's going to be a very similar look to what you had with the first Gauntlet, but the difficulty's kind of scaled up a little bit. And so that means the rewards are as well. There's players in there. Some really, really great content there.
I do want to highlight a level 60 though. When you get to level 60, you get a unique offer. But not just that, but then also when you hit level 60, level cap, there's some special experiences that you have, and then after that, that kind of translate into a solo sequence. So talk about getting to level 60, what you get there, and then what you get at level cap at 60. Close to 61 kind of thing.
Yeah, so at 60, we talked about a little bit, but that's when you're going to unlock that 90 to 91 overall power-up pass. But then you're also going to get access to the training camp solo sequence here, which gives you an additional bump in training from versus what we were offering before. So as you can see here on the screen, 125 training for 5 solos each week. That thing refreshes over and over. So another added benefit for reaching level cap. You'll also notice that your daily objectives list will also sort of increase and give you even an opportunity to earn more. I think it's up to 450K now for that daily objective. So great stuff there. And then, yeah, kind of as you're, going up along, you mentioned solos, but, there are additional level up solos at, what do we got here?
54 and 58.
54 and 58. That sounds right.
You get those cool uniforms, all that kind of great stuff. Yep. And then not just that, but you get the cool uniforms at 54 and 58. And then the other, of course, solo sequence is veterans. We talked about that. Now, one thing, Jake, in the Veteran Gauntlet, people want to know who are the players in that. Let's talk about those players.
So here we go. To sort of carry out that theme, we do have veteran players in here as the rewards. They're all 89 overall. They're all going to work very, very similar to what you saw in the Rookie Gauntlet. So there's a choice of 6 players in here. And, kind of getting that halfway mark will give you enough tokens to go unlock and choose. This is a fantasy pack, so you get to choose which one of these guys that you want. You go and you finish out the rest of the gauntlet, and you have access to go get a second one of these players. And again, similar to the first one, you also have the opportunity to go and exchange one of these guys. So if for whatever reason you've invested in one of these guys and he's not playing for you, or you pulled somebody else who's just equally as good for your team and you want to go try somebody else out, there's an exchange set there for you too.
Awesome.
So really great stuff. 89 overall. As you can see, the Jason Kelsey is a power-up player in here, which means that his power-up also got an extra tier today. Okay. He goes up to 90 OVR, which does make him eligible for abilities. And yeah, great stuff here.
Awesome. Well, next, let's go ahead and talk about sets. This is the part of the promo that I'm most excited about. I don't know about you guys. I have Telvin Smith as one of my power-ups. And I'm just super excited about this. Right here, we have Series 2 Master Telvin Smith. He's auctionable and non-auctionable. The auctionable one requires about 110 Series 2 tokens, where the non-auctionable one requires just 55 tokens. I'm the kind of person that just grinds out. I'm not looking to sell anything on the auction house primarily. Just build my team. And so I'll usually go for that 55. I'll take the easy way out. Not just that, but we also have some sets that give you some packs. And Jake, I'll let you talk about these, like elite. We have elite player sets. We also have Coach Madden sets. We got new uniforms, flashbacks. Let's go and talk about that.
Yeah, so jumping back up to Telvin Smith for just a quick second. I mean, that was one of those things, again, for me, was really important for us to offer that non-auctionable, tradable version for him, right? It's going to take half as many trophies, which is great. A ton more people are now able to have access to go and do that. We've tried to make those trophies a little bit more readily available. They're not exclusively in head-to-head online modes this year. So really proud of that. That was something that I think was engaged with really well with the David Johnson in Series 1. So to carry that over into Series 2 and having somebody as great as Telvin Smith, that's another just kind of like Mutt favorite. And I'm sure you're not the only one who's invested in his power-up. So that was really great to have here. Great selection here from the team. These packs, right? Like, you're going to notice a difference in the amount of trophies that it requires to get into these guys. We kind of like raised the floor a little bit on some of these, and raised a little bit of the ceiling on the second one. But some really great opportunities to pull fire in these. Right, this is something that we see a lot of people who love to use their trophies in here. And then we have the Coach Madden collectible, which the key thing to note here is you do have to do Series 1 Coach Madden first, right? Okay. The Series 1 Coach Madden is how you actually get that coach item. Okay. And then with that, you've unlocked 2 of his scheme chemistries. Okay. What this does is it offers the token that you need to unlock the 3rd chemistry. Okay. So what does that mean? It means, well, if you could go all in on Madden passing and have that be maxed out ×2, well, now you have that opportunity to work on your pass defense or your rushing, whatever you want to do. It's up to you, the players. That's another one of the themes that we've really tried to carry out this year, is try to make it about, this was sort of like the year of choice is what we wanted to make it, right? So this is another area where we're trying to pay that off. And another common question that I've heard last year, that I've heard internally, that's probably worth addressing is like, okay, Jake, great, like Series 2 trophies are out. Like, what does that mean to my Series 1 sets? The way that it's set up is that it's Series 1 or later. So your Series 2 trophies will work in those Series 1 sets. You can still go in there, finish those out. If you haven't done Coach Madden, you still have plenty of time to do it. You have the rest of the year. So as long as it's again, Series 1 or later, which basically for that one means everything. The only thing that it doesn't allow you to do is use any of your Series 1 trophies on Series 2 sets. So the Flashback and Veteran sets do have a little bit of a change. You'll notice that there's a little bit more of a requirement in terms of fulfilling those sets now, but we've done a couple things. One is the minimum OVRs now are 88 for the Veteran sets. Oh, I'm sorry. The Flashback and Heavyweight sets are now a minimum of 88, and the Veteran sets is now a minimum of 86. So what does that mean to all those players that were pulling from them? Well, we've now actually just dropped those in regular packs now. Got it. So as you're pulling, you might actually start to see that Flashback great reveal, right? Like just gets you super hyped. That's cool. So those guys, you're going to start seeing them available in regular packs. The other thing to note, it's not in necessarily the Series 2 sets, but the normal exchange sets, we've done a couple things. One of them is we've now added an option to use 84 to 85 overall players and get into an 86 to 87 player. So that's a brand new upgrade. And then the other really cool thing that the guys have done is we have included guys like Rising Stars, Legends, Team of the Week, Hall of Fame, Gatorade, Ultimate Kickoff, those guys are now all eligible to be pulled from those exchange sets. So
awesome.
if you, slow clap from the crowd. I like it. Thank you.
I know there was a lot of concern earlier on. We heard the community's feedback about Rising Stars. What the team did was address it by adding like an additional opportunity to go ahead and do that set. For Rising Stars, if you were using some of those collectibles and whatnot. Not just that, but some people were saying, well, can you release them in packs? They put out a bundle yesterday, and then this is another attempt to kind of look at that. Now, keep in mind, our teams are constantly listening to this feedback. We're sharing it with them, and then they'll assess basically how is that inventory out there. And if we have to make more tweaks, we'll make those more tweaks. So just a heads up, we are listening to you guys. I know it doesn't feel like it in the moment, but rather than just flooding the market with all these options, then everyone gets upset because, oh my gosh, these cards are so cheap, my cards don't have value. We want to make sure that we kind of take a tiered approach to it, and I think it's actually a wise and smart approach. So that being said, we got flashbacks, we got veterans, we got all this kind of stuff. Last thing I want to talk about is power-ups. So one of the things we heard from the community is, when are you guys going to add new power-ups? So what's cool about Series 2 is that it's an opportunity to kind of introduce power-ups into the marketplace.
Yeah, so, one of the things that we really fought hard for going into before we even launched, taking a step back a little bit, was, in your upgrade pass, having that ability to have, I need to fulfill it with the item or give a training option. And it was for things like limiteds, right? Yeah. Like, by definition, there are going to be so many of them. You also saw that in campaign, where the reward structure was based in a way where you were only going to be able to select a couple of these guys. We weren't going to block you. So when we came out and we had some of those primetime players or performers who did not have a power-up, that became something that was very important for all of us. So we went ahead and we made those power-ups. There were 3 guys that fulfilled that requirement. They were Derek Carr, HaHa Clinton Dix, and Dante Hightower. All those guys were primetime performers who did not have power-ups prior. Okay. So now what you'll be able to do is pick up these guys' power-ups and be able to use your training. You will need to go use their base item, so you'll need the 82 overall core, all that. But then you'll be able to use a training option instead of the primetime performer, get a 92 overall to it. And, that felt like the right thing to do. We're going to continue trying to, honor that moving forward. So, yeah, really important. And then the other one, right, was Patrick Mahomes. You talked a little bit about Rising Stars. Patrick Mahomes, I mean, this guy is just absolutely on fire. He basically forced our hand with this one. With us having the Rising Star out the week before, and then he just went and lit up the Steelers. The only thing that felt right was, yes, this guy obviously deserves his Team of the Week hero, but we need to go and make a power-up for him as well. That's awesome. Those people who went and already invested in the Rising Star and want those Rising Star chem options. That was kind of the tricky but really special part about his power-up, is that he inherits all of his Rising Star chem options once you fulfill that requirement. And again, whether that's with the Rising Star itself, the 86 overall fully upgraded Rising Star, or you could use your 86 to 87 overall power-up pass to fulfill that requirement as well. So as soon as you do that, boom, _3 in the scheme. Cool. ×3 now is included in that physical slot. Really cool stuff there. And again, put the hero in there, and this guy's balling. He's gunslinger ready.
A lot of people misinterpret Series 2, and they actually think that Series 2 is it's going to be a reset of MUT drafts and salary cap. It is not a reset of MUT drafts or salary cap. That's on a whole different level right there, that's related to the competitive gaming division. That is not being reset today. So just wanted to give you guys that heads up.
As you are upgrading and leveling up from 51 up to 60, you also are going to continue getting level up collectibles. Okay. So that Ricky Williams, when you get him all the way, when you reach level cap again, he will be up to 94 OVR. So keep looking out for that. That's another thing to keep grinding for. Cool. Thank you for your time. Appreciate you, Kraylo. Thanks, everybody.
Man. Appreciate you coming by.